Hi guys, welcome to the Occasional Biker. Today we are going to start the Camino Al build, and we're going to turn all this into a gravel bike. So here's the frame again. You might have seen my unboxing video. I noticed a few things about the frame which caught my eye. Overall it looks really nice, the welds are good, the paint looks good quality. Of course we'll see how that fares after a bit of use. One thing that is noticeable about it, probably not surprising as well, is how the tube profiles are quite a bit chunkier than the Saracen Tenet that this frame is replacing. So usually the first thing we do with a new build is get the headset in, which means if you're unfortunate enough to have a frame which doesn't have integrated cups, it means pressing the headset cups in to the frame and getting the fork steerer cut to size, measured, cut to size and sorted out. So that's the plan for today. So this is the headset I've got. This is for a 44mm head tube, and this is semi-integrated, which means there's a low stack height. If you haven't bought a headset before, be careful. There are many different sizes. There are tapered head tubes, there are straight head tubes like this one. This is 44mm internal diameter straight head tube, which can accommodate either a straight 1/1/8 steerer tube or a tapered 1.5 inch to 1/1/8 steerer tube. So be careful, check your frame, check exactly what you need for your headset, and be careful what you order, otherwise you might end up sending back a couple of different headsets till you end up with the right one, which is what I've done in the past. Now I suppose before we start I should go over my experience with building bikes, and I'm not professional by any means. I'm not Cytec trained, anything like that. What I have done over the last 15 years is built north of 30 bikes. I think I bought 2 bikes in that time that were pre-built, and the rest of the bikes I've had, which is many, a lot of which my wife doesn't know about, but I've built the rest of them myself, and like I say, it's must be well north of 30 bikes over the years. So I'll show you how I do it. If you find that doesn't work for you, then fine. Go and check other videos on YouTube or websites, magazine articles. They'll probably give you different ways. This is just the method I've used for many years, and I've never, touch wood, made a major mistake or ruined the frame or anything like that. So yeah, take it for what it's worth. It's just some advice and hopefully a few hints to show you the pitfalls and things to avoid. Okay, so that's the headset. Headsets usually consist of, unless they're integrated, I'll show you what integrated means. Headsets usually consist of top cap and bolt, star angle nut, unless you've got a carbon steerer tube, you'll be using one of these, which holds everything together, and the full tilt frame. And you'll have, as you can see I'm not prepared, 2 headset cups. In this case, like I say, semi-integrated, so they're low stack height. because the stack height is the distance from the bottom to the top, or top to bottom. So that's the top headset cup, and that one is the bottom headset cup. Now you can see how that has a taller stack height, and that's because that's where most of the load goes through the stereo tube and into the frame, so it's larger to support it. If you bought a headset rated for a downhill bike, for instance, that stack height would be probably around double. So, inside there are bearings, hopefully you can see that on the camera. They spin around and allow you to turn your handlebars and forks. On top of that we've got a cover for the top headset cup and bearing to keep all the crud out. And this is the headset race. Now that goes over your stereo tube onto the crown of the fork, and that supports the fork inside the beveling of the bearing that you can see in there, hopefully. So that fits into there, and then everything can spin around as you steer. Hopefully that makes sense. I'll show you how we go through fitting the cups, which the cups are an interference fit. That means they're close tolerance to the size, or hopefully close tolerance to the size of the head tube and the frame, and they're basically pressed in. So we'll do that in a sec. So how do you get the headset cups into the head tube of the frame? There's several methods you can use. Number one is a big old hammer. Works, can be messy, risks damaging either the frame or the headset cup. Mallets aren't really that good because you need this, especially rubber mallets, because you need that force to transfer through the headset cup and push it into the frame. These absorb too much of the force, but then if you're going to use a normal hammer you have to protect the headset cup, so you're going to need to use a piece of wood or something like that over the cup to make sure you don't dent it, because otherwise it's ruined. Difficult to get the headset cups in straight using this method, but if that's all you've got then that's what you use. The second method is to press them in. Now you can buy presses that will do this. Park Tools do one, I believe it's anywhere from £70 to £100, something like that. I don't like spending that kind of money for something that I use maybe once, twice a year. So I made my own. Piece of threaded rod, a couple of bits of wood to protect either the frame or the headset cup, or both, and a couple of very chunky steel washers and a couple of nuts on the end. It does, I'm not going to say it does the same job, it does an approximation of the same job. It's more difficult with something like this to get the cups in straight and reliably, but with a bit of fiddling around they go in. And like I say, I've used this on easily 20 frames. I didn't use it to start with when I first started building bikes, but I've used it for the last 10 years and it served me pretty well, so I'll continue to use it. I usually do one headset cup at a time. Don't be tempted to try and press them both in at the same time. You'll just get yourself in a muddle. It's easier to do one at a time because then you can adjust things around to get the cup in straight. And that's about it, I think. So let's get cracking. I always put a good film of grease around the inside of the head tube and also onto the headset cup itself. Focus. There we go. Aids the cup going into the frame, reduces the friction, and then if you ever need to get the cup out for any reason, it'll come out a bit easier. So we've got the top cup ready into the head tube. I'll take the headset press, take the top nut off and the wood and washer, and thread it through from the bottom. Hopefully the press is long enough. May well not be. Okay guys, slight technical hitch. Just realised that my piece of threaded bar that I've been using for over a decade isn't long enough for the head tube on this frame, so I had to go scratch around the garage trying to find a longer piece of threaded bar. Anyway, found it. It was lurking under the tool chest. So got the bar threaded through the head tube, the upper headset cup is in the head tube, and basically we turn one of the nuts to force the headset cup down into the head tube. So the idea here is that we're slowly pressing the headset cup into the head tube, and every few turns we're checking to make sure the headset cup is going into the head tube straight. If it isn't, then I'm slackening the bar off and moving the press around to the highest point of the headset cup in relation to the head tube, and then retightening from there to try and keep it level and go into the frame straight. So there we go, we can see that we've got the first headset cup into the frame. Hopefully you can see that that's nice and flush, level with the top of the head tube. Okay, job half done, let's do the bottom one. Okay, so a little bit fiddly, but we got there in the end. Headset is in, nice and flush. Nice and flush with the head, bottom of the head tube. Okay guys, so there we go. Headset cups are in the frame. Fiddly job, not one I ever really look forward to, but with a bit of time and patience, they're going straight and no damage done. Everyone's a winner. Next video we will offer up the forks, get them measured, get them cut down and get them fitted to the frame. So, hope you enjoyed it. Cheers. Bye.